Beef World. It only took us like $1 billion in 40 years, but here we are. Over that 40-year period, about half the original investors died with the dream that you see before you. 7 lands within Beef World that they meticulously argued about for about a decade until I stepped in and chose every single land and ride in the park to make it easier on themselves. Those money grubbers would have run this place into the ground, which is why I took every creative liberty that I could to make this as great of a park as I could with the $1 billion that they gave me. So you're welcome and thank you. There are 120 handymen choreographed around the park ready to make Disneyland look like a hoarder's house. And there are 48 mechanics choreographed around the park ready to keep every ride up at all times or sweep up the mess. So we also have 145 rides built, tested, and ready to go. We have 135 stalls set up and ready to sell, and we have 101 facilities for you to puke in and for you to use. So fasten your seatbelts and get ready for the grand opening of a 40-year dream. Absolutely none of the $1 billion budget was used towards the making of that song, so that is the best you're gonna get. So never before, never in the history of the park has the park ever been open in the 40 years, one more time that we are going to say that. In the 40 years of development, we are about to open up the park for the first time. So we are going to experience any sort of problems, any sort of solutions, any sort of anything that's about to happen. We don't know. So let's go ahead and open this guy up. Open all. Oh. And now let's open the park and see what happens. Is there going to be a flurry or a rush of people, or is it going to be slow? We got our first guest in the park. Let's go ahead and take a look at him. Look at that. The first guest, Abraham, into the park, ready to go and ready to experience Beef World. Here we go. Beef World! Soul Stealer. Ha! See, I knew I'd forget something. There's got to be an entrance to this little guy right here, and I didn't build any. Oh, no, they can't get to the park. We'll get right back to you when we build that. As you can see now, after making those tiny bit of fixes, this is getting out of control. We have 172 guests already in the park, and they are streaming in like hotcakes. So while the loop-de-loop has broken down, why don't we look at a few things and why don't we check out a few areas of the park in a little bit more detail. Let's start with Main Town Street, the first land you enter as you enter Beef World. Beef World! If you can't already tell, I'm contractually obligated to play the theme song every single time I say Beef World. Beef World! The story behind Main Town Street starts with 2 of the investors who were at each other's throats over the naming of it. One of them wanted Main Town, and the other one wanted Main Street. Now, Main Street, taking the behemoth of Disney head on with zero regards or regrets. The other Main Town being made up by a 3-year-old. They couldn't decide whose was going to be better. So when I came in at the 10-year mark, I decided to combine the two, make everyone happy, and call it Main Town Street. The 2 big beef, big designs inside Main Town Street are the Car World, which is not to be confused with, not gonna say it, and the triple-decker mini golf course. By the way, there are many other mini golf courses within this park that we are going to cover, but this is going to be the first that you run into. Now, you think that we are going to actually originally design every single ride in this park? No, to save time, and since we were given $1 billion, we bought the rights to other rides to use for about 90 to 95% of the rides in this park, and originally designed the rest to fill it in.
But what about the 40 years?
Shut up! It wasn't easy to build Beef World. What do you want from me? So you're done with Maintown Street, and you look around and you go, whoa, this park is massive. How in the world am I gonna get over there? Well, luckily for you, there are transportation systems on transportation systems within this park. There is a massive monorail that goes around the entire park, and there are also trains that go around each park, and there are even more transportation systems. For the monorail, we got this first hub here in Maintown Street, and it connects you to 3 different areas around the park, so that way it's super easy to get around. The second station is going to be right here over to the west side of the park. I don't think anybody's going to go over here, so I didn't build a full station for it. The third station is what we call the Brick House. It connects 4 different areas together, so that way it's super easy to get around. And then we go over here to the Igloo, which is by the mountain and this other area, which we'll cover in a second. And it definitely brings you back home. Now there's one underrated transport system in this park, which for some reason nobody likes right now, but it's my brainchild, my baby, my sweet cherry pie. It's the submarine ride. If you come to Beef World, just ride this ride. The second area we are going to cover today is, wait, is that 800 guests? Oh my gosh. All right. The second area is Mount Speed. This is actually one of the good ideas the investors came up with. They just wanted everything to be fast. All right. I'm down for that. So there are 2 main hubs here in Mount Speed. There's the first one here that's down at the bottom of the mountain. That's a nice little snow village. And then the second one right at the top is the Party Village, in which there's going to be a lot of partying up here. 3 big beef, big designs in this land, in which the first one's going to be over here to the left, which is called the Ricky Bobby Speedway. They just wanted this to go fast. So guess what? If you want to go fast, you're going to go fast on this ride. The second big beef, big design is going to be the Bodacious Bobs, the bobsleds on the east side of the mountain. They wanted this to be based off of Cool Runnings, and once again, we just decided to ixnay that out and call it Bodacious Bobs. You're gonna go fast. The ride in the middle of the mountain, they wanted it to be like the Matterhorn, and once again, just why do they keep fighting these battles? No, we're calling it the Big Mount Express, and it's very fast too. There are also 2 more transports unique to this area, in which if you're like me and don't like climbing stairs, these are for you. The first one's going to be the ski lifts on the either side of the mountain that bring you up, and the second is going to be the elevator inside the mountain. You have to walk through the mountain to get there. Now let's zip on over and check out Area 50 Beef. Yes, that is not Area So Beef, that is Area 50 Beef. The investors couldn't come up with an idea with this one, so I took this one over. Wow, there's so many other areas of the park to go to, and look at all of you stuck here. Okay, we're going to need to fix that. There are 2 big beef, big designs here in this area. This one, the first one, is going to be this desert logs, and I don't blame anybody for not going on it. It's pretty terrible. And the second one is this raceway, the Duneless Raceway. Now, this one I'm a little disappointed in because I put a little bit more time into it, but come on, guys, ride the ride. Now I want to give a quick shout out to the central hub here in Area 50 Beef because it is over the water and it is very cooling and very relaxing when you are shifting through the dunes of Area 50 Beef. Oh no, we forgot about Abraham. Let's go check in on him. And would you look at that? He happens to be here in the dunes. And would you look at that? What a homie. He's riding the go-karts. That's what I'm talking about. Pretty ironic that he's in the dunes because this works as a great segue into talking about our next land, which is Jungle Bungalow Land. One of the investors went to Thailand and was like, I want an area that's like a jungle. And he had no idea what it was supposed to look like because we all know he didn't go to the jungle. So there are 3 big beef, big designs in this area. The first one is called the Jungle River Rapids. Originally, they wanted to call it the Escape from the Mohicans, which, just like the movie, I mean, come on. And if you do a little bit of research, they're based in the northeastern US and eastern Canada. So they're not even in the jungle. So we're calling it the Jungle River Rapids. The second one is called Jungle River Relax. Try saying that without enunciating. Originally, they wanted to call this one the Escape from the Mohicans 2. So you can imagine, just like the other one, we scrapped that down and called it Jungle River Relax. The third one that I'm very proud of is the Jungle Putt, which nobody's going on as well. But yet the centerpiece of it all is the bungalow in the middle of the area, which gives the area its name. In my opinion, the best in Beef World. Wait, you better not! How do I break this contract? What's next is Pirate Booty Bay. And if you look at the two boats and you just look at them in all their glory, you start to have dreams of sailing out to sea and becoming the best pirate in the sea. The history behind Pirate Booty Bay is not as adventurous as it may seem. One of the investors wanted Pirate Bay, just like the website, the torrenting website, which is a no-no. And the other one wanted Booty Bay, which even though it is from World of Warcraft, we cannot step on their toes. So we decided to combine the two once again and call it Pirate Booty Bay. Pirate Booty Bay has a lot of roller coasters, and I mean a lot of roller coasters, and none of them are designed by me. There's actually only one ride that is a big design in this area, which is the Open Waters, which is a ride in which there are a ton of self-operable water vehicles in this lake that you can go around and do stuff with. Now, did we test out the safety and sort of the logistics of how this would work, in which a 45-mile-per-hour speedboat is going to run into a 5-mile-per-hour bumper boat? You know, sometimes you just have to test in the live environment, if you know what I mean. Now, this wackadoo of a place is called the Multi-Time Place. So one of the investors, she was like, you know how Marvel made $1 billion off of their multiverse idea? Why don't we do the exact same thing and make $1 billion? Well, we can't do that. Can't you see a recurring theme in this video where it's just, they just want to straight copy everything. So we called it the Multi-Time Place, not the multiverse place, the Multi-Time Place, where there's multi-times everywhere. And so that way we can be safe. The Multi-Time Place, yes, the Multi-Time Place has two big designs in it. The first one is going to be the go-karts, which is going to be, I call it the block. I tried to fill this up with as much track as I possibly could without thinking of the decorations, so we call it the block. The next one is actually one of my favorites, which is called a putt in time, which is putting in the Multi-Time Place. And actually, check this out. Finally, someone is finally on it. Let's check them out. Let's see how they do. And would you look at that? Hole in one. You see it here only in Beef World. That's right. The last area, and I'm not going to say it because I don't want the song to play again, is called Schiehl-Heidenberg. Doesn't sound European at all, but I kept it that way because the investors thought it sounded European. So when in Rome, there's a few places for you to be able to stay, and there's a few places to be able to turn this place into a vacation. There's also an area over on the other side of the river, which, what? Nobody was supposed to be coming over here. Why are you so popular? You're supposed to be going to other sides of the park. And that, in a nutshell, is Beef World. Now, if you had to ask me whether or not I like this game, I don't know if you could see how much time I put into Beef World. This game is absolutely incredible if you haven't played it yet.